This is all rather impressive. Kia's small car appears to have grown up. It's longer, wider and sportier than its predecessor, and yet they've managed to keep its weight exactly the same. But the really impressive part is that this car is now available with the most economical internal combustion engine on the market, which is even more astounding given its price. Yes, in its most frugal guise, this car is capable of delivering a fuel consumption figure of almost 90 miles per gallon, which means that even at today's ludicrous fuel prices, you could potentially drive 100 miles on just £7.
There's a choice of 2 petrol engines and 2 diesel engines in the Rio. The 1.1 diesel is the one that grabs all those economy headlines, but this 1.4 litre petrol will still return over 50 miles per gallon. As you can imagine, these cars are not quick, and at times they can feel a little on the sluggish side. Even this 107 brake horsepower version really isn't particularly outstanding, but once you do get it up to cruising speed, it dawdles along quite happily in 6th gear. Now let me be completely honest, I never really was a great fan of the old Rio. In fact, it would be fair to say that I thought it was a particularly cheap and nasty little car with all the sex appeal of a dirty movie featuring a gorilla with gingivitis, in a sordid threesome with Harriet Harman and Iggy Pop. But this is something very different indeed.
This car has a better gearbox, better suspension, better tyres, better wheels, better interior space, and it looks 1,000 times better too. Do you know what? Let's just simplify this. It's just better, okay? A lot better. The Rio's finish is now very good indeed, although the materials aren't quite up to Volkswagen's standards yet. Having said that, it is still one of the cheaper cars in this class, so it does have the edge in terms of value. Admittedly, the gap between it and its rivals isn't quite as big as it once was, but the Rio does come with Kia's brilliant 7-year transferable warranty and better equipment levels than most of its rivals.
It's now very easy to get comfortable in this car because the driving position is more flexible. The seats are firm and with the possible exception of the lumbar region are pretty supportive. And although the controls may at first look like they've been fitted by Fisher-Price, they soon grow on you because they're extremely functional, simple and well laid out. The only major problem is the small rear window and thick pillars. Now they seriously hinder rear visibility, and in a car of this class may put some buyers off. The new windscreen line and these sturdy front pillars help to create a new minor blind spot on certain bends, but with a bit of head movement this soon goes away.
This is one of the more spacious Minis on the market. There's plenty of shoulder and headroom back and front. The high boot sill is still a minor inconvenience, but the boot itself is on a par with anything else in the class at 288 litres. When it comes to exterior styling, this car is a totally new concept. Kia say that it's a complete departure from the more functional approach taken by the last generation Rio. Effectively, this car has gone in for cosmetic surgery looking like Wayne Rooney and come out looking like Johnny Depp, so naturally its parents are thrilled. It should therefore come as little surprise to learn that this car was devised by European designer Peter Schreier, and it shows. Apart from the occasional patch of plastic here and there, there's very little to give this car away as being Korean. The rear is sporty and squat, the sides have nice lines, and round at the front things are even less well, Korean.
But the Rio's real gift is its ride. It's supple under most road conditions, even on horrendous bumps like these.
So, onto the downsides. The steering feels a little unbalanced and rather numb at times, which lets this otherwise very agile car down a bit. And although it's extremely quiet in most situations, the 1.4 litre petrol engine does make a bit of a din when you give it some stick.
Then there's the horn. Quite frankly, it's embarrassing. A dog makes a better noise than that if you tread on its tail.
That said, body control, grip and stability are better than in most Super Minis. It also gives you a very nice feeling of security due to the use of more substantial materials. The Rio is therefore a refined Super Mini that's a credible alternative to the VW Polo, and good value at that.